All right, everybody. So, came outside of the porch because it's like 90 degrees, 95 degrees already. It's not even noon yet, and it's hot. So, the shed is 20 degrees, 30 degrees hotter. I'm sorry. I just realized I'm a wreck right now. Again, we're going off of like 3 hours sleep in like the last 72 hours. I'm so tired. I'm gonna do these and I'm gonna go take a little nap. My chest is hurting, my head is hurting. But so because I'm out here and I'm not on the computer, I've got my other phone, right? Um, Let me go ahead and show you something that you can look up, okay? These are the free resources that you can use. So do me a favor, use them as much as you can, learn as much as you can about the law, free of charge. Don't let somebody bully you and let them charge you for something that is free, okay? Oh man, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. All right, so there's like 7 different resources out there that I've been jumping back and forth between. All of them are free of charge, of course. One of my favorites is Justia Law. It acts just like the Google browser, only instead of Google, where it pulls from every single source out there available on the web. Things like this will only they'll. Oh, that's your tummy, puppy. No, you need to go. No, your tummy's growling like that. You go potty. You're not going inside. Go potty. Go potty. Go potty. No, go potty. She's probably hungry, but not if your tummy growling like that. You know what? Go inside then. You're someone else's problem for now. Again, it's 95 degrees out here in the shade. She's not about that life right now. So I'll let her back out in a little bit if she got an upset tummy. But so because there's I'm trying to think what's it called, Westlaw, West Edge, something like that, right? Like those are the paid services that you can go to. So like lawyer's office, their legal aides, all their people, they use this service. Okay, like the attorney's office will pay 1,500 a year, 3,000 a year, right? Depending on how big your firm is, depending on how many people are going to have access to it, they'll charge you different amounts, right? So for me, when I tried to reach out, because like I said, I was looking for the free resources that used to be available to you years and years ago. They're not free anymore. So like I said, I had to find the actual free versions again, which they try and hide it from you, but okay, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna let you know the free versions, right? This is just my quick example. They tried to charge me $1,500 for a year, and that was after taking off a free month service. So in actuality, it was more like $1,800 for the year, but because I got the first month free and this and this and this, he dropped it down to $1,500, right? And I was like, no, I'm only gonna use this for like 2 days, and then I'm gonna discontinue. So I'm not gonna pay for the year's subscription, right? Like I'm not trying to license anything. I'm not about that, right? I don't need it, right? So, like I said, do not let people charge you for something that should be free. Here are the 7-ish free things, right? So, it actually says several excellent free resources allow you to research court cases, laws, and amendments similar to Justia. So, Justia law, right? Very, very, very useful. You can look up amendments, laws. It'll give you court cases. It'll give you judgments. So like judge rulings, and like anything that was included, you can pull up and it'll be written. So like if a legal document was processed, it'll show up in. It's pretty cool, right? Very, very, very useful. I love Justia Law. I have used all the other stuff as well. However, I use Justia the most. But there's things like Google Scholar, Cornell's Legal Information Institute. I use them a lot. FindLaw, Court Listener, and Case Law Access projects are all available alternatives. Additionally, govinfo.gov provides access to official government publications. This is true. This is one of the actual government websites where you can actually go and find stuff, okay? There used to be multiple, but again, I can't find the other ones for some reason. I don't know if they got discontinued or if they were turned into you have to now pay for this service, but again, so Google Scholar, Cornell's Legal Institute, FindLaw, Court Listener, Case, right? So these are all different free legal resources that you can go to, okay? So don't let somebody bully you into thinking that you need to pay them or you don't know what you're talking about. I may not know what I'm talking about, but this judge over here in the Supreme Court in this district in this year was presiding over this case, and he specifically stated that blah, 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 right? So, First Amendment, right? For those of you who have been dealing with public officials, like or police, attorneys, judges, right? If they won't let you talk, if they're going to violate your First Amendment right, your freedom to express yourself and your beliefs and your religion, your creed, and all kinds of other things, basically basic freedom of expression, then you counter them with this. 1987, Houston versus Hill, Supreme Court case has not been overturned, states very clearly that we, the public, have the right to interrupt you, the public official, because let's say, for instance, you're speaking to the cops and they think that you're guilty. They will ask you a question. Once you get going trying to answer said question, they will break your train of thought by asking you a completely unrelated separate question, and you're no longer allowed to answer the first question because they're trying to get you to answer the second question. The reason they do this is dirty, but they're trying to break your train of thought. So if you came in with a recorded everything, like you're going to repeat it verbatim, they're going to break your train of thought, and they're going to get you to perjure yourself so that way they can go and say, aha, you're lying, see? Go away, right? But again, that's bad policing. Shame on you. Literally, Johnny Raymond, badge 514, his supervising officer, he's now a sergeant, was recently promoted here in May. Michael Top, badge, I think it's 430. And then Captain Reese, badge 357. You all severely, severely violated our rights, and you're going to find out about it. But thanks to not just what I have up here, but thanks to the free legal resources that I showed you all, I'm able to prove everything that I'm saying. So I'm able to pull up statutes, I'm able to pull up laws, I'm able to pull up acts, I'm able to pull up the Articles of Confederation if I wanted to, right? So something was written way back 1777 to 1781. No, is it 81? No, it's either 81 or 87. I forget. I'm sorry. Again, I'm going off of 3 hours sleep in a 72-hour time span. So you can fact check me in the comments if you want. It'll help the data. Articles of Confederation were written because the Articles of Confederation were not robust enough to protect the rights of the citizens, and it was just a weak, corrupt government was in charge because of it. They wrote the Bill of Rights. I think it was like 10 years after the Articles of Confederation. But again, you can fact check me on that. So like if the Articles of Confederation were signed and ratified and finalized on 1787, then 1797, that's when the Bill of Rights was officially ratified, and it was it helped protect the rights of the citizens, protect the rights of the individual, helped protect us from government interference, right? But it also led to a more robust and a stronger government because of that. So good stuff, right? And then other amendments were added after that, but again, this is just very, very, very brief history. So fun fact, actually, if you want to go look something up, here's a little bit of history for you. The reason that we had to have the Bill of Rights introduced in the first place is because the original war, the Revolutionary War, the War of 1776, right? Like, go look that up, right? We were fighting against, basically the people overseas because they were taxing us to death, and we were fed up with it, right? Taxation without representation is basically what we fought for. We fought for freedom of that. So when we won our independence, the people who were put in charge of us here, they were basically just as corrupt as the people who we gained our freedom from. So the farmers, the actual Revolutionary War fighters and heroes and soldiers, they were the farmers being screwed out of their property. They were being taxed to death. They were losing their farms. They were losing their homes. They were losing this and that, right? So a group of protests was organized, and I believe the man's name was Daniel Shea. You can look that up and fact check me if I'm wrong. But it was called Shea's Rebellion. It was a group of protests that was led by the, sorry, I got my phone down here. I'm trying to go based off of memory, and I'm looking at the beautiful scenery. Shea's Rebellion was a bunch of protests started by farmers who were former soldiers who were fed up because they were still being taxed to death and losing everything, right? So Daniel Shea and a bunch of his buddies, again, former heroes and veterans and soldiers, of the Revolutionary War got together to protest, and every time they protest somewhere, they took over a government building. And they took over several government buildings because there were several protests that were formed. And at the time, the state didn't have enough money to form a militia because basically the farmers were the fighters, and they're not, we're not going to give in to your demands, so we need someone else to step in now. I forget who it was specifically, but if you look it up, it's probably going to list the elites. So the elites came together at the time, all the rich people came together of the time, and they formed a militia of their own. They had to pay out of their own pocket to form a militia, and their militia went in and stopped Shays' rebellion. But again, look that up. Because of that very directly led to the Bill of Rights being formed, because it proved that government was corrupt and that government did not have the best interests of the people. And with my videos that I have now, the one that I'm about to chop up, that hour-long call, that's just one little, you're gonna see that the government still doesn't care about the people, and I'm gonna teach you all how to protect yourselves. So, sorry about this long-winded explanation, but here are your free resources. Here are the reasons why you should not pay people, and here is just a basic history lesson, so that way you can see that these rules, these laws, these acts have been in place. So 1777 to now, 234 years? Roughly 230, well, over 230 years, okay? I think it's 234, but again, I'm tired, my brain's not working right. That these rules have been set in place, and the state of Idaho, the city of Idaho, the city of Lewiston Police Department, the city of Lewiston Attorney's Office, they think that they can go against these rules that protect everybody, right? Article 4 of the Constitution says that the United States Constitution is the law of the land, that it cannot be broken, right? So that means that when I'm traveling like I am now, I'm from Colorado, okay? My family's from Colorado, right? We're visiting. We should be home in Colorado, but because of all this legal stuff, we have to stay. So you guys are violating us, right? I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. We were going to move out here because we have family out here and we've been visiting them for years. However, realizing how corrupt the government is around here and how they refuse to help, like they are literally, it's in the store policy of the people who stole our identity that they sell and share the information to the police and to government officials and to, right, all these people that we're trying to go to for help. So like I said, like, the city's corrupt and we don't want to be here anymore. So learn to protect yourself. I showed you the free resources that you can use. The next video is going to be about the 30 basic human rights, the universal human rights. And when I say universal, that means that a bunch of people much smarter than us got together and stated that these are the fundamental human rights that anybody has been given. Doesn't matter where they were born on earth. God gives each individual these same exact rights. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter what your skin color is, what your beliefs are. Doesn't matter what religion you practice. Doesn't matter if you practice a religion. Okay, doesn't matter who, what, where, when. Doesn't matter your social status. Doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank, because you could be of absolute the bottom status, but you could have a ton of money in the bank, right? Like criminals, drug dealers, right? They're the dredges of society, the people who, and I'm talking about hard drives. I'm not talking about, like, actual stuff that's legal, okay? But fentanyl, right? That's technically legal, but if it's on the street, it's not legal, right? It's killing people, right? But they use it in medical offices. It still kills people, but it's legal in that sense, right? Like, does that make sense? So illegal drugs, we're against, okay? I'm gonna cut this video off. It's getting too long. I showed you the free resources. I'm tired. Go use them. Next video, 30 universal human rights guaranteed to everybody. Yeah. So again, this is all. I haven't gotten any sleep in the last 72 hours because of Jennifer Tangano violating her rights over the phone call that I'm chopping up. Literally 3 hours and 72 hours of sleep, so I'm delirious. So if you watch this and you think that I'm not explaining things in a way that the public can understand, let me know in the comments and I'll explain it a different way. It's just, again, I'm explaining things as best as I can going off of the lack of sleep. And okay, so thank you. one of the next videos, you're actually going to find out my qualifications and all the stuff that I actually know and where I learned it from, so that ways I can prove to you that I know what I'm talking about and I'm capable of teaching it. But the next video very basically is going to be about our human rights, universal human rights, 30 of them in fact. Okay? Thank you.